job to help people move on.
We are all here to say we need change in our system now.
We have allowed politics to take over. We have allowed so much, and we forgot to see people for who they are.
We focus on the problem for so long, it's time to get to the solution.
You know, change is not a spectator sport. And they say the moral arc of the universe bends towards justice, but it can't bend without action.
It feels different this time because white folks are out there marching and leading the marches.
Institutional racism is real in America, and white people need to speak out.
Murder, violence, and hate because someone is different.
A lot of people in this world don't understand why they're racist.
Your biases are there because of the lies that you were taught.
And both need a vaccine. We need a vaccine for COVID-19, but we need a vaccine for racism.
Okay, because we were made different and we were made beautiful, and we got to see each other's differences and we got to see each other's beauty. We have to see each other. Do you understand that this cause is bigger than black? It's bigger than us. Come on. And we will not get anywhere with violence. Come on. Violence.
How do you feel when you see so many people demonstrating?
Oh, it's so beautiful. Actually, I'm in my 50s, and I actually thought that there would be more people my age, but it brings me to tears to see the younger generation out here standing for a cause, standing up, speaking out peacefully.
When you look around and you see all of the people, you know, you've grown up with or your community members, and seeing them work together and, you know, really demand change, it's beautiful. It's really empowering to know that your voice matters.
What brings you here today?
Well, I saw online that my friend Natalie was starting up a protest, so I decided to come along and see what people's opinions are, and because I'm a pretty far right conservative, but in that I think that what the police are doing is wrong, and I think that something should be done about it, and this is the only group that's really doing anything.
I'm in that era of where I didn't get to march with my grandparents and all that, and then now this new generation coming to stand up for us, it's awesome.
As you can see, we are all white here, but we are here to support Black people's liberation. We fully stand against police brutality, and so that's why we're really here today.
This is something unreal, and it feels good to see people of all race and all ethnicities coming together, you know, for one cause.
when you see people come from different backgrounds, different races, different beliefs, different ideologies, and just seem to agree on one thing, that's something that's like extremely hard in this country. To see it in person, it's amazing. It's a true blessing.
I think part of the reason that you're seeing a lot of these people out here is the conversation has begun and has continued even more now. So you're not only seeing support just in black and minority communities, but you're seeing it across the board, and that's probably because the conversation has been had more and more. People are sharing their experiences, and more people are understanding that it's not such a fictional thing as some would make it seem.
You know, where the culture changes and the tone changes.
Y'all gotta mean that. The allies, everybody is out here with us. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. No justice. No justice. No justice. Prosecute the police. I'm gonna pass this over to Frank.
We should feel uncomfortable. If we're standing by and we're wearing the badge and we think what occurred is okay, you should not only be uncomfortable, you should be looking for a different job. No one should be preyed upon, mistreated, talked to differently because of the color of their skin, their ethnicity, their race, their gender, or anything else you want to put on the label. If you're not in this job to help people, move on. That is my message.
This rally came together from conversations, text messages, my phone blowing up. When's the next protest? When's the next this? When's the next this? When's the next that? I was on the phone with a friend, and he said, well, what's next? And I said, I think you just started something.
Today is when the change starts. We focus on the problem for so long, it's time to get to the solution.
We are all here to say we need change in our system now. We are all here to say we are tired of being sick and tired now. We are all here to say because we ignored a peaceful knee on a field, we are confronted with a knee on the neck of George Floyd. The knee is symbolic of how it feels to be a person of color in America. From the Native Americans who had their land stolen to Africans who were stolen from their land. The sins of our country is in the brick and mortar of this nation's foundation. This is why there is such a move. This is why something's happening in the hearts of the people in our country, because we want to deconstruct what is so we together can build what should be. Don't talk to me about, hey, we can change this. No, we need to back up and put people at the table so that we can move forward together. Can we say together?
But we cannot wait. You cannot wait. I cannot wait for tragedies to occur and then get together. You have to do this on a daily basis, get involved and make change and make the difference in your community.
Don't go back into your church unless you're willing to get out here on the street where people are hurting. Here's the thing, lift up your eyes to the fields, to the harvest is plenty, laborers are few, somebody got to do it, and our world will die if it's not you.
We have allowed politics to take over. We have allowed so much, and we forgot to see people for who they are.
It's beyond the ache of hunger pains. It's behind a badge, chief. It overrules the offices of those we empower with our vote. The second battle line is off the beaten path of CNN and Fox and everything in between. The second battle line is the hearts of men and women.
When the hashtags are off of line, quarantine is over, Facebook statuses are done. I need y'all to do one thing for me. When you're back in your houses, when you're back in your schools, when you're back on your jobs, when you're back in the church, Keep the conversation going. Have those tough conversations in your homes. Have those tough conversations in your schools. Have those tough conversations in your churches. Have those tough conversations in your workplaces. Have those tough conversations in the community. We keep the conversation going. Can y'all repeat that? Keep the conversation going. One more time. Keep the conversation going.
No racist, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No racist, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice.
In the world, the NFL football, by kneeling into the national anthem, and I served my country for 23 years, and I've been around this world, and I got friends, and I got families, and I got brothers, and I got sisters of all colors. Now let me tell you something, I was not offended by that act, because the question you should have asked yourself, if he's willing to do that, and I know Old Glory, the one that I would die for, and he's going to do that with my flag at the center of attention, then you should stop and ask yourself, my God, what is that about? Because if he's willing to put the issue with that, gotcha, then that is significant, all right? And here we sit now, fast forward, and we're back in the same place, and everybody wants to forgive him for it. Because the man made aware, you know, something that's been a problem for so long.
Just the word matter became controversial. How the hell is that possible? How is Black Lives Matter a controversial statement? All lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter. That's inherent. We have to understand this.
Tonight I'm coming to you as the first woman of color to represent this district. And that is only part of the story. The story is I'm a mother of 2 African American children who I know there's 2 sets of rules in this country, and I've had to teach them that. That breaks my heart. Every time they leave my house, I cannot breathe. How is it that not only as a parent that I have this internal mothering worry, but I have an additional anxiety, wondering if they're going to be pulled over on the side of the road and profiled simply because of the color of their skin.
After the Emancipation Proclamation, it was assumed that black people would be free and have the same inalienable rights like everyone else. And then 50 years ago, it was assumed again that when everybody sat down to the table and the Civil Rights Act was signed, that it was okay. And we still hear people saying over and over again, well, the next generation will be better. And the next generation will be better after that. Because again, we're assuming that if we don't teach better, if we don't do better, or if our neighbors don't do better, that somehow our kids will magically do something different than what has been done to us. And that's the problem with assumptions, because we all walk around not only like asses, but with them on our back, because we're so hurt, we're so upset, and our hearts are still broken.
And I saw police brutality, and I saw hurt and anger, and I thought 50 years ago that we'd overcome that. But we haven't. Institutional racism is real in America, and white people need to speak out. This cannot only be a burden of our African American brothers and sisters. We need to speak out. We need to call it out. We need to recognize the problems in law enforcement that have plagued America since I was born.
There's a spirit in this country that is trying to devoid and diffuse and throw away the fact that we live in a diverse culture. My ancestors helped build this country, and I'm not ashamed of that. I embrace that. And when you know your history, when you know where you've come from, you can't deny it. And the reason why I'm saying that is a lot of people in this world don't understand why they're racist. They don't understand why they're prejudiced. They don't understand it because it was the way that they were raised. Just like you and I, raised in a home of prejudice and racial practices. And so what we have to do is we got to teach them. We got to teach them through love and compassion. We got to teach them about respect. We got to teach them about racism and what that means. And we got to keep teaching. We cannot stop. We will not stop. We shall not stop. We ain't going to stop. Because Black Lives Matter.
I've been doing this for a long time. I've been on this battlefield for a long time. And I can recall back as a child of the 60s and the 70s that there has been unrest in the nation because of racial discrimination before. But you know, it feels different this time. Can I speak real bluntly? It feels different this time because white folks are out there marching and leading the marches. You know what that tells me? That the consciousness of our American people has changed a bit. And so we're out there, we're marching, we're saying Black Lives Matter, we're saying, say his name. And white folks are saying that. So let's continue to walk. Let's continue to chant. But you know, we need to pivot. Unlike those times in the past, we need to pivot to sit down and make some real change.
Now that you know that, you also know that you can't do anything just sitting back and saying, well, I guess who's going to get appointed? You can't do it that way. It matters who you vote for, who ends up in Richmond, who ends up on that committee, and then what that committee does to put more people that look like you, and then it continues down the line. Because when people have more empathy, when people have a common experience, then we don't have to assume anymore how things are going to turn out.
We need to engage at the federal level, we need to engage at the state level, and we need to engage at the local level.
You know, change is not a spectator sport. And they say the moral arc of the universe bends towards justice, but it can't bend without action.
So don't just come and sit on the lawn and listen. Get engaged. Get inspired enough to get engaged.
When we get to that place together, when we strive for a more inclusive county, commonwealth, and country, then we will be at a place where we get to the front of the line and we don't look back and we tell people, how come you're not up here with me? We take our arm, we extend it back, and we say, join me. And what do I have to do to help? Let's be in all this together. As one county, as one commonwealth, and as one country, united against racism, united against hate, and for everyone, so that we truly, actually do have justice for all. Thank you.